perpendicular lines. In this lesson, we'll be finding equation of perpendicular lines and writing in slope-intercept form. Perpendicular lines intersect each other. They have a common point. When they intersect, they form a 90-degree angle. Lines intersecting that does not form 90-degree angle is not considered perpendicular line. They are just intersecting lines. So perpendicular line has special characteristic, which is they form 90 degrees where they intersect. So perpendicular line, in this example, you see there's a blue and a red line and they intersect to form 90 degrees. They have one common point, and that is point of intersection where they meet, where they cross each other. Find slope and y-intercept of given lines. Write equation for each line in slope-intercept form. So for each line, we have to write the equation in slope-intercept form. Slope-intercept form, let's recall it's y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope, the rise over n, change in y over change in x, and b is the y value from y-intercept. And b is y value from y-intercept 0b. Find slope and y-intercept of the given lines. Write equation for each line in slope-intercept form. So these are the lines from the previous slide. They're intersecting, forming right angles. Now we are going to identify the slope and y-intercept, write the equation, and see how it's different from the lesson we did on the parallel lines. What is different for perpendicular lines and parallel lines? So for blue and red line, we can see the y-intercept for both is same. In this case, it's 0, 1, and for the red line, rise over run, rise is 2, run is 1. So m is 2 over 1. And for red line, for the blue line, rise is 1 and run is 2. So going down 1 and right 2. So m for this line is negative. M for this line is negative 1 over 2. So now we have b is 1. M for the red is 2 over 1. M for the blue is negative 1 over 2. We can write our equation in slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. For red line, the slope is rise over n is 2 over 1. And b is 1. So we write the equation y equals 2x plus 1 when we plug it in this equation over here. For blue line, the slope is negative 1/2. Slope is negative 1/2, and b is still 1 because they intersect at the same place, which is their y-intercept. When we write the equation in the form y equals mx plus b, y equals negative 1/2 x plus 1. We are substituting -1/2 in place of M and 1 in place of B. And the difference we notice is the slope is not same anymore. Even though the y-intercept is same, slope is not same. For red line, slope is 2, and for blue line, the slope is -1/2. We see the sign changes. One is positive, one is negative. One is a whole number, and one is a fraction. So the slope for perpendicular line, we can say, is negative reciprocal So the slope of the perpendicular lines are negative reciprocal. Find the slope and y-intercept of given lines. Write an equation for each line in slope-intercept form. These are the two given lines, and this time you see the lines do not intersect at the y-intercept. The y-intercepts are different. Recall, for parallel line, the y-intercepts are different. They cannot be same, but for perpendicular lines, it can be same or different. It doesn't matter. Okay. Find slope and y-intercept of given lines. Write the equation for each in slope-intercept form. So we're going to identify slope and y-intercept and then write the equation in y equals mx plus b form. So we can see the y-intercept for the blue line is 0, 3, and the rise over run is, we go up 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, and left 1. So our m is negative 4 over 1, and our y-intercept for red line is 0, negative 2, and our rise over run is rise is 1 and run is 1, 2, 3, 4. So m is 1 over 4. You notice one slope is whole number and it's a negative. The other one is the reciprocal. We flip it and change the sign so it's positive and it's a fraction. And the y-intercepts are different. So now if we write the equation for red line, the slope is 1/4 and b is -2. We plug it in the equation y equals mx plus b. We have y equals 1/4 x minus 2. Now for the blue line, slope is -4 over 1, which can be written as -4. It's whole number. So that's our m. And b is 3. When we plug it in the equation y equals mx plus b, we have y equals -4x plus 3. Or you can also write like this. I don't think many people mark it wrong. -4 over 1x plus 3. Perpendicular lines. The slopes of two perpendicular lines are negative reciprocals of each other. So one will be a positive, one will be a negative. One will be a whole number, one will be a fraction. You flip the whole number or you flip the fraction. Depends which one you find first. Different y-intercept or same y-intercept doesn't matter. They intersect to form a right angle. So if the lines intersect and then don't form right angle, they are not perpendicular lines. example of perpendicular line in the equation form. You have y equals 1/3 x minus 2. So if you take the slope 1/3, if m is 1/3, the perpendicular line slope will be -3/1. And also when you multiply m and m prime, you should have -1. That's one of the rules for perpendicular lines. So you have y equals -3x plus 2. Let's see, if we multiply 1/3 times -3/1, looking into this, they cancel. This cancel, you are left with -1.